The Warriors are ridiculous. The Warriors absolutely dominated the Kings tonight. They put up 130 points and held Sacramento to just 104. That's a 26-point win, and it's the kind of performance that's becoming normal for this team lately. They've been rolling since the trade deadline, and this game was just another example of how dangerous they are right now. With this win, Golden State moves to 13-1 since bringing Jimmy Butler into the lineup. That's right, 13 wins and only 1 loss when Jimmy suits up. It's no surprise they've rattled off 6 straight victories. Over their last 10 games, they're 9-1. They're also 3rd in total wins since the trade deadline, and their momentum doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. The Warriors have been doing it on both ends of the floor. Their defense has been locked in, forcing tough shots and grabbing rebounds. They've limited second chance opportunities and controlled the pace. Offensively, they're sharing the ball, knocking down shots at an elite rate, and getting contributions from everyone on the roster. This is not just a one-man show, it's a full team effort, and the numbers tell the story. Golden State came into this one looking sharp, and they left no doubt. The Kings had no answer. This team is clicking at the right time, and the chemistry is obvious. They're balanced, deep, and efficient. They're defending at a high level, pushing the tempo when they need to, and taking care of the ball. You can see it in the box score. You can see it in their record, and tonight was no different. Now, let's get into the numbers that made all this happen. Draymond Green was huge in this one. He scored 23 points, grabbed 4 rebounds, and dished out 4 assists. He also added 1 steal and 1 block. What really stood out was his efficiency. He shot 57.1% from the field and finished with a +12 in his time on the court. Draymond's leadership shows in games like this. He's doing a little bit of everything and making life easier for everyone else. Moses Moody was another big-time contributor. He finished with 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. He also had 2 steals and 1 block. His shooting was right there with Draymond, hitting 57.1% from the field. Moody ended with a +12, matching Draymond's impact in terms of plus-minus. He's becoming a reliable two-way player for them. JK made his return to the lineup after being out for weeks, and he didn't disappoint. He scored 18 points, pulled down 3 rebounds, and handed out 1 assist. He added 1 steal and shot an impressive 70% from the field. JK also ended up with a +8. For a guy who hadn't played in weeks, that's about as good as you could hope for. Buddy Hield continued his strong run with Golden State. He dropped 16 points while grabbing 4 rebounds and dishing out 5 assists. He chipped in 1 steal and shot 60% from the field. His plus-minus was +17, which was the second highest on the team. He's fitting in perfectly with this group and giving them another dependable scorer and playmaker. Steph Curry made some history tonight. He became the first player in NBA history to hit 4,000 career threes. That's a number nobody else has ever touched. In this game, he scored 11 points, grabbed 2 rebounds, and handed out 5 assists. He also added 1 steal and 1 block. His field goal percentage was 44.4, and he finished with a +15. Curry's not just a shooter, he's impacting every part of the game. Jimmy Butler kept his personal win streak alive. He's now won his last 11 games, and his presence on this team has been a game changer. Tonight, he scored 6 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and handed out 7 assists. He also had 1 steal and finished with a +2. He shot 40% from the field. Butler's numbers don't jump off the page, but his ability to make plays and control the flow is huge. Santos had a perfect night shooting the ball. He scored 10 points without missing a single shot. He grabbed 5 rebounds and dished out 3 assists. Santos didn't have any steals or blocks, but his plus-minus was a game-high +21. That speaks to how good the Warriors were when he was on the court. His 100% shooting makes his night even more impressive. Gary Payton chipped in with 11 points. He also grabbed 4 rebounds and handed out 2 assists. He didn't record any steals or blocks, but his shooting was on point. He hit 66.7% of his shots and finished with a +11. Payton gives them energy and toughness off the bench, and he's been reliable in his role. Quentin Post added 10 points and grabbed 4 rebounds. He didn't hand out any assists, but he managed to grab 1 steal and block 1 shot. Post shot 42.9% from the field and ended the night with a +9. He's giving them good minutes and adding size in the paint. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during this season. I'd genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, the Warriors. Looney did a little bit of everything, as usual. He scored 6 points and led the team with 6 rebounds. He handed out 1 assist and didn't have any steals or blocks. Looney shot 66.7% and finished with a +11. His steady presence in the middle is something the Warriors have leaned on for years. When you look at the team totals, It's clear how balanced this effort was. 9 different players scored at least 6 points. 6 players finished in double digits. They spread the wealth and made Sacramento's defense scramble all night long. Their shooting numbers were impressive across the board. Santos hit 100% of his shots. JK finished at 70%. Payton and Looney were both at 66.7%. Buddy Hield shot 60%. Draymond Green and Moses Moody both knocked down 57.1%. Even Steph Curry, in what you could call an off night by his standards, shot 44.4%. The defense was active too. Moses Moody and Draymond Green combined for 3 steals. Quentin Post, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry each had a block. The Warriors made things tough for the Kings, forcing them into bad shots and keeping them off the offensive glass. And the plus-minus numbers really showed the difference. Santos led with plus 21. Buddy Hield was right behind at plus 17. Curry was plus 15. Draymond Green and Moses Moody both hit plus 12. Gary Payton and Looney were at plus 11. Even JK, fresh off the injury list, was at plus 8. Rebounding was balanced too. Looney had 6. Jimmy Butler and Santos both had 5. Moses Moody, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, and Quentin Post each grabbed 4. They crashed the boards and made sure Sacramento didn't get second chances. They also shared the ball well. Jimmy Butler's 7 assists led the team. Moses Moody had 6. Buddy Hield added 5. Curry had 5 too. Santos had 3. They moved the ball and found the open man, which led to all those high shooting percentages. With Curry hitting 4,000 career threes and Butler winning 11 straight games, the Warriors are making history while racking up wins. They're now 13-1 with Butler, 6 straight wins, 9-1 over the last 10, and 3rd in total wins since the trade deadline. The final score was 130-104. Golden State dominated from start to finish, and the numbers show why. Balanced scoring, efficient shooting, active defense. This is a team playing its best basketball at the right time. But watching this game, there's a few things I noticed, and I think the first thing everyone noticed is the impact JK is going to have on this team. JK looked incredible tonight. He's finally healthy again, and you could tell right away that the Warriors have been waiting for this version of him to show up. They've missed his energy, and now that he's back on the court, they've got another player who can help take pressure off Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. It's a big deal for them because JK's presence changes how they play on both ends. He's doing exactly what they need right now, and his stats prove he's making a huge difference. Before his injury, JK was on an absolute tear over his last 15 games. During that stretch, he averaged 20.4 points per game. That's not just a hot streak. That's consistent production from a player who's being asked to carry a serious load on offense. Along with the scoring, he pulled down 5.9 rebounds per game. It's not easy to grab boards and score at that level, but JK was doing both. And it wasn't just volume shooting either. His field goal percentage was 48% over those 15 games, and he shot 40% from beyond the arc. Those are strong shooting numbers, especially for a player taking on more offensive responsibility. His shot selection and efficiency helped him stay effective. And tonight, he was right back in that groove. Looking at his overall numbers for the season, JK's advanced stats hold up really well compared to the rest of the league. His MTW rating, which measures how much a player contributes when they're on the floor, ranks him better than 55% of players. That's a solid mark that shows he's adding value almost every time he's in the game. His offensive rating for the season is 111.3, while his defensive rating is 110. Put those together and you get a net rating of plus 1.3. That's a positive margin, and the Warriors need every bit of that. When he's on the floor, they're often playing better basketball. He's also posted a positive plus-minus in 50% of his games, which puts him ahead of 64% of players in the league. What makes JK's performance even more impressive is how well he's handling the ball. His BH rating ranks him higher than 59% of players. He's averaging 2.2 assists per game, which shows he's finding teammates and making plays. His assist percentage is 13.78, meaning almost 14% of his teammates' field goals come from his passes when he's on the floor. And while he's creating shots for others, he's keeping mistakes to a minimum. His turnover percentage is just 8.01. That puts him ahead of 73% of players when it comes to limiting turnover. He averages only 1.6 turnovers per game. Considering how involved he is in the offense, that's a great number. He's also creating 5.6 points per game directly off his assists. For a player who's primarily a scorer, those are solid playmaking numbers. Speaking of scoring, JK's usage rate is high. He's involved in 28% of the Warriors' offensive possessions, which is a big number. That means a lot of plays are ending with him either shooting passing for an assist, or drawing a foul. He's averaging 13.2 field goal attempts per game and 5.3 free throw attempts per game. Those numbers show how aggressive he's been with the ball. He's playing 53.8 possessions per game, which gives him plenty of chances to make an impact. And with the way he's playing, he's making the most of those possessions. On the defensive end, JK's been a big factor. His team defensive efficiency rating is 110, and he ranks better than 63% of players in mixed team defense. He's averaging 0.9 steals per game and 0.6 blocks per game. Those numbers are steady and show he's active on defense. He's pulling down 3.6 defensive rebounds per game, which helps the Warriors finish defensive possessions and limit second chance opportunities for opponents. JK's ability to defend multiple positions and contribute on the glass makes him a valuable two-way player. His rebounding, overall, has been strong too. He's averaging 5 rebounds per game, and that puts him ahead of a lot of players at his position. His offensive rebounds are at 1.4 per game, and his offensive rebound percentage is 4.8%. That's better than 56% of players in the league. He's giving the Warriors extra possessions by grabbing offensive boards, and that's something they've needed. On the defensive side, his defensive rebound percentage is 13.05, which ranks better than 65% of players. He's helping control the glass, and that's huge when you're trying to get stops and push the ball the other way. But it doesn't stop there. JK's defensive rebound numbers are elite. He ranks ahead of 91% of players when it comes to grabbing defensive boards. That means he's not just getting the easy rebounds, he's working for them and making sure the other team doesn't get second chances. His effort on the glass has been consistent, and it's making a difference for the Warriors' defense. Tonight, JK also got to play alongside Jimmy Butler for the first time. That was a big deal because Butler draws so much attention, and JK took full advantage. His spatial awareness on the court stood out all game. He knew exactly where to be, when to move, and how to make things easier for Curry and Butler. He didn't force anything, and that's what makes his performance even more impressive. He fit in perfectly, and his awareness helped open up opportunities for everyone else. That's something the Warriors are going to need moving forward. The Warriors have clearly missed what JK brings to the table. Since he got hurt, they've been missing his scoring, rebounding, and all-around activity. But now that he's back and healthy, they've got a player who can impact the game in a lot of ways. His numbers before the injury already showed how valuable he was, and tonight just confirmed that he's ready to pick up where he left off. His scoring, efficiency, rebounding, and defense are all at a high level, and he's giving them exactly what they need. JK's presence takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the team. Curry doesn't have to carry as much of the scoring load. Butler can focus more on creating plays without having to worry about taking every tough shot. JK gives them another option, and when he's playing like this, it changes everything. He's back to taking 15.8 scoring attempts per game, which ranks higher than 85% of players. He's aggressive, and he's playing with confidence. His scoring attempts, combined with his rebounding and defense, make him a key piece for the Warriors right now. And it's not just about stats. JK's energy and effort have been a big part of his success. He's playing hard on every possession, and he's making smart decisions. His ball handling, assist rate, and low turnover numbers show he's not trying to do too much. He's playing within himself, and it's working. Now that JK's healthy again, the Warriors have a real difference maker back in the lineup. His numbers speak for themselves, and if he keeps playing like this, they're going to be in a much better spot moving forward. But someone else who was awesome tonight, Draymond. Draymond Green was outstanding tonight. Scoring 23 points is huge for him, and it changed the entire flow of the game. When Draymond is putting up numbers like that, it takes so much pressure off Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. They can play their games without having to worry about carrying all the scoring. And when Draymond gets rolling, the Warriors just look different. You can see the confidence everywhere on the court. He was one basket away from scoring 25 points tonight. That would have been the first time he hit that mark in over 7 years. 7 years. And here he was, knocking down shots and giving the team exactly what they needed. The fact that he got this close to 25 points says a lot about the way he's been playing lately and how much he stepped up when they needed him most. 23 points from Draymond is massive, especially when his season averages 8.9 points per game. That's what he's been scoring this year, which ranks higher than just 34% of players in the league. But tonight, he was on another level. Draymond's shooting efficiency tonight was just as important as the point total. His effective field goal percentage for the season is 50.3, which tells you he's usually pretty selective with his shots. He's scoring about 1.0 points per field goal attempt this season, and that includes making 2 two-point field goals and about 1.1 three-pointers per game. He's averaging 7.3 shot attempts per game. So the fact that he's scoring 23 tonight shows he was aggressive but smart about it. And when you add in his true shooting percentage, which is 53.5, it's clear that when he picks his spots, he's efficient. He's scoring about 1.1 points per scoring attempt, which works out to 8.9 points per game with 7.3 field goal attempts and 2.4 free throw attempts. But again, tonight he blew that out of the water. And when Draymond's knocking down threes, the Warriors almost always win. They're 33-2 when he makes 3 or more threes in a single half. That's an insane stat. It shows just how valuable his scoring can be for them. Even though most people focus on his defense and playmaking, when he's hitting from deep, it makes everything easier for Curry and Butler. They don't have to force shots or carry the offense for long stretches because Draymond is out there spacing the floor and keeping defenders honest. The other team can't just leave him wide open, and that creates lanes for everyone else. His overall impact on the game shows up in his MTW rating too. He ranks better than 96% of players in the league, which means he's contributing in a big way whenever he's on the floor. His offensive rating is 118.5, and his defensive rating is 111.3. That gives him a net rating of plus 7.3, and that's a huge margin. He's helping the Warriors outscore opponents by a lot when he's out there, and the team's on-off numbers back it up. When Draymond is on the court, the team outscores opponents by 4.7 points more than when he's off. That difference is one of the biggest in the league, and it shows just how important he is. And when Draymond plays like this, it makes life easier for Steph and Jimmy. Steph is already putting up 24.5 points per game, which ranks higher than 75% of players. His effective field goal percentage is 57.3, and he scores about 1.1 points per field goal attempt. He's making 3.6 two-pointers and 4.5 three-pointers per game on 18 shot attempts. His true shooting percentage is 61.6, which puts him among the best scorers in the league. He's scoring 1.2 points per scoring attempt, so when Draymond gives him a little breathing room by scoring himself, Steph can stay efficient and doesn't have to force anything. Jimmy Butler is averaging 17.2 points per game, ranking better than 52% of players. His effective field goal percentage is 53.2, scoring about 1.1 points per field goal attempt. He's hitting 5.1 two-pointers and 0.5 three-pointers per game on 10.9 shot attempts. His true shooting percentage is 61.4, which means he's super efficient when he's picking his spots. He's scoring 1.2 points per scoring attempt, but even with all that efficiency, when Draymond puts up 23 points like he did tonight, Jimmy doesn't have to force his offense. He can pick his spots even better and stay in control. And it's not just about the points. Draymond's presence changes how teams guard the Warriors. When he's scoring, defenders can't sag off him. That opens up space for Steph to run off screens and for Jimmy to attack mismatches. It keeps defenses scrambling, and that's when the Warriors' offense is at its best. The defense has to respect Draymond's shot, and that changes everything. The last time Draymond scored 25 points was over 7 years ago. And tonight, he was right there. That shows just how dialed in he was. He found his spots, knocked down shots, and kept the defense honest. It's not something the Warriors are going to ask him to do every night, but when he brings this kind of scoring, it makes them almost impossible to guard. Draymond's ability to score like this is such a luxury for Golden State. They already have 2 elite scorers in Curry and Butler, but when Draymond joins them as a legitimate scoring threat, they're operating on another level. His defense, playmaking, and leadership are always there. But when he's adding points like this, the Warriors are a nightmare to defend. And with Draymond healthy and aggressive, they're in a great spot moving forward. But then we got to talk about Curry's historic night. Steph Curry had a night that's going straight into the history books. He just became the first player in NBA history to make 4,000 three-pointers. 4,000, nobody else has ever done it. He's in a league of his own right now, and what he's doing is on another level. The fact that he's the first to ever reach this milestone shows exactly how much he's changed the game. Nobody shoots the three like Curry, and tonight just added another ridiculous record to his name. It's not just the number of threes, although 4,000 makes your head spin, it's how quickly he got there. Curry has done this in 1,012 games. That's 122 fewer games than James Harden, who's second on the all-time list with 3,127 threes. Curry also hit this mark 288 games faster than Ray Allen, who sits at number 3 on the list with 2,973. When you think about that gap in games played, it makes what Curry's doing even crazier. He's not just beating these records, he's smashing them. And it's not like Curry's doing this by chucking up shots with no regard for efficiency. He's hitting 42.4% of his three-pointers over his career. That's an elite number. When you look at other all-time great shooters, nobody combines volume and accuracy the way Curry does. James Harden is at 36.2%. Ray Allen was right at 40%. Damian Lillard is shooting 37.1%. Even Klay Thompson, one of the best pure shooters ever, is at 41.2%. Kyle Korver, another elite shooter, ended his career at 42.9%. Curry is right there with the very best when it comes to percentage, but nobody touches him when it comes to the sheer number of makes. What makes Curry's 4,000 threes even more impressive is that he's done it while constantly facing the toughest defensive assignments. Teams are game planning every night just to slow him down. He's dealing with double teams, blitzes, and defenders glued to him as soon as he crosses half court, and none of it has mattered. He's still putting up these kinds of numbers. Hitting 4,000 threes in an environment like that is almost impossible. But Curry makes the impossible look routine. Tonight, he wasn't just making threes, he was making history. And you could feel the energy shift when he hit number 4,000. The crowd knew it, his teammates knew it, everyone was fired up, and Curry kept feeding off it. He's always been a player who thrives on momentum. And once he got going tonight, there was no stopping him. Every time he pulled up, it felt like it was going in. When you take a closer look at where Curry stands in the all-time rankings, the gap between him and everyone else is massive. Harden's over 800 threes behind him, and Curry got there in fewer games. Ray Allen, who used to hold the record for most threes made, is now over 1,000 threes behind him. Damian Lillard is closing in on 3,000, but Curry is already at 4,000. Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller, LeBron James, Kyle Korver, Paul George, and Vince Carter are all on the list too, but none of them are even close to where Curry is now. And Curry's showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, he's still as dangerous as ever. He's averaging 24.5 points per game this season, which ranks higher than 75% of players in the league. His effective field goal percentage is 57.3, and his true shooting percentage is 61.6. Those are elite numbers for any scorer. But when you factor in how many of those points come from beyond the arc, it becomes even more ridiculous. He's making 3.6 two-pointers and 4.5 three-pointers per game on 18 shot attempts. He's scoring 1.2 points per scoring attempt, which puts him among the most efficient scorers in the league. What makes Curry's three-point shooting so devastating is that it completely changes how teams defend the Warriors. Opponents have to extend their defense way beyond the three-point line. That opens up space for the rest of the team to operate. It makes life easier for Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green because they're working with more room to attack. It also forces defenses into uncomfortable situations. If they help on Curry, someone else is open. If they stay home, Curry gets his shot off. It's a lose-lose situation for them. And on a night like this, where Curry's breaking records and making history, it's even tougher. Defenders were draped all over him, and it didn't matter. He was still finding ways to get open, using off-ball movement, screens, and quick releases. And when he gets hot like he was tonight, it almost feels like he's playing a different game than everyone else. Curry's impact isn't just in the numbers either. It's in how he lifts the entire team. When he's hitting shots and breaking records, the energy on the bench goes through the roof. Guys like JK and Draymond feed off. The ball moves faster, the defense gets tighter, and everything clicks. Tonight was one of those games where Curry's shooting set the tone for everything the Warriors did. It's also worth remembering that Curry changed the way basketball is played. Before him, teams weren't taking nearly as many threes. Now, every team in the league is focused on spacing and shooting. But even with the league catching up in terms of style, nobody has caught Curry in terms of results. He's the best shooter in the history of the game, and now he's got 4,000 threes to prove it. And this isn't the end. Curry's still going. At the pace he's on, he could hit 5,000 threes before he's done. And considering he's playing some of the best basketball of his career, it wouldn't surprise anyone. His shooting mechanics, conditioning, and work ethic are all still elite. He's finding new ways to score and new ways to stay effective, even as defenses get smarter and more physical. Tonight's milestone is one of many for Curry, but it's a big one. 4,000 career threes is something nobody's ever done, and it might be a long time before anyone else gets there. Harden's the closest active player, and he's still 803 behind. Damian Lillard is next, but Curry's got more than 1,000 threes on him too. And the younger players coming up, they've got a long way to go before they get into this kind of conversation. Curry's career has been defined by moments like this: big shots, record-breaking nights, and performances that leave everyone shaking their heads. And tonight was another chapter in that story. He hit 4,000 threes, and he did it in classic Curry fashion, with flair, precision, and a little bit of showmanship. The Warriors are in a great spot with Curry leading the way. Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green are playing their roles perfectly, and JK's comeback adds another weapon to the rotation. But Curry remains the engine that makes everything go. His shooting changes the entire dynamic of the team, and when he's on a night like this, There's not much anyone can do to stop him. 4,000 career threes. It's a number that sounds almost made up, but it's real. And Curry's the only one who's ever reached it. He set a standard that may never be broken, and he's not done adding to it. Every three he makes from here on out just extends his lead and solidifies his place as the greatest shooter in NBA history. And the Warriors get to enjoy every second of it. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.